All right, so YouTube, we're back. Last video we covered sizing and how important it is and how sizing can vary between different shoes. I've got everything from a 9 up to a 10 on this table. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but just depending on who made the shoe is gonna really determine what size you need to get. Next up is what type of shoe, so where you're going. If you're going somewhere hot, non-waterproof, even if it's rainy, I sweat a lot, and I really have found that even in a non-waterproof shoe, your foot's gonna get wet, yes, but if you're wearing a merino wool sock, merino wool is an amazing natural fiber. It's actually a hollow fiber that holds water in the wool itself and can insulate when wet. So that's why you never get that chill or cool feeling if you're wearing a merino wool base layer. So bottom of the barrel stuff, the waterproofing is just gonna be like a plastic bag. Gore-Tex, they have been doing this for the longest. The Gore-Tex membrane is a expanded PTFE, which is basically like Teflon that has been stretched to accommodate, these tiny little pores in them. And the pores are small enough to where water droplets can't get through, but when the water vapor or sweat vapor comes out of it, it can go through those same vapors. So that's how it works. In Kentucky, we really don't have a dry or arid climate, so most waterproofing is gonna seep or wet out, and you're gonna get people saying, oh, my shoe is leaking. Well, it's not your shoe leaking, it's just you're sweating. So non-waterproof in low tops is a great option. Your feet are gonna dry out. If you go with a more traditional upper, like this leather here, it's non-waterproof, but I climbed the Grand Teton in this back in 2012, and there was snow, we were kicking steps in it, but it was enough to keep the water out of my off my feet for long enough, so yeah, it's not a big deal. This next shoe here is the Loa Zephyr Gore-Tex. It's a polyurethane midsole, meaning polyurethane is a dense rubber. It's a little more like car tire rubber, whereas something like this is a EVA. It's actually a foam, and it's very soft, and it has a very short lifespan, depending on how much you wear it. EVA versus polyurethane. Polyurethane is gonna last about 3 times as long. One way you can tell that your EVA shoes are done for is look at the side on here, and you'll notice these telltale lines. I don't know if you can see them there, but basically that's the EVA being compressed to the point where it doesn't rebound anymore, and you're gonna lose stability, the shape of the shoe is gonna change, and that's gonna affect your overall stride. So something like this, this is the Loa Elite Desert, and I bought this boot not because I thought it looked cool or whatever, but I had a couple requirements. It had to be non-waterproof, which this is non-waterproof. It had to be a polyurethane midsole, which it is, and it had to be resolable. So a lot of people don't ever get their shoes resoled, but it can save you a ton of money. Loa does a great job. It could take 2 to 6 months to get it done, because they'll get a whole bunch of shoes together, they'll package all of them up, and they'll send them on one container over to Germany where they actually resole their shoes. So this met all those requirements, and it's been a fantastic boot for me. I'm really in love with it. So something like this, Oboz. This guy is a waterproof, although it's not Gore-Tex, it's B-Dry, which is just their own version of a Teflon laminate breathable membrane. In a low top, pretty aggressive outer sole. The biggest difference between a shoe, specifically Oboz, is they don't use Vibram rubber or any other name brand, which allows them to design the shoe and the outsole and the midsole and the upper all as one, even down to the insert. So it's all gonna fit incredibly well. These are some of the best price point shoes you're gonna find. If you haven't heard of these, it's a company out of Bozeman, Montana. They're really just an awesome, awesome company. They fit most people's feet, and I can go into that in the next video. But the main gist of it is waterproof, not waterproof. Do you want Vibram rubber? Do you want regular? Let's be honest, it's all pretty good right about now. So, and I guess I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's Vibram, but it's all good stuff. And then you got something like this, which I was gifted these shoes. Danner is an amazing company. Unfortunately, this is their price point model. It's not made in the USA. It's EVA, and this thing is, it feels like a tennis shoe. This shoe has more support. This shoe obviously has more. All these have more support than this. I mean, look at that. That's not, you don't want to wear 10 pounds or 20 pounds on your back with this at all. It's just not going to work. I love Danner, love you guys, but come on, let's think about it. Going back to pack weight, actually, I'm going to stop this video here and I'm going to talk about pack weight in relation to your shoes in the next video. Great.